Hello friends, good morning, and welcome to Ed Talks 10. We've done 10 of these already. Crazy, right? Anywho's, this time around, I have something. The Cretaceous period. Yep. Unlike last time, this time around, we are doing dinosaurs. Kind of. But first, facts. Yay! So it started 145 million years ago, and it ended right about 65 million years ago. So this was the last time period of the dinosaurs. At this 65 million year ago mark is right around when scientists think that all the dinosaurs went extinct. At the beginning of the Cretaceous period, there was actually two giant land masses that eventually broke off into all these chunks over here. A lot of scientists believe that this is what went down. Obviously from this picture you can see they still haven't fully drifted apart yet, so they're still kind of together. Right? One of the big chunks was called Eurasia, which was just all this stuff together, as you can see here. And then instead of there being instead of being all the normal oceans, we still have the Atlantic, the Arctic, the Pacific, but then we have this one down here called the Cretaceous Ocean. But anyways, during that time period there was a lot of things. We had, of course, dinosaurs, but we also had bugs and plants, and we'll get to the dinosaurs later. But for now, let's do the little things first. So on the left here, we have something called the... I'm going to butcher all these names. You ready to laugh? Ready? This is called the Hydroterminus hoplite. Holotype? It's an ant. All those words to mean ant. You see this little thing here? 1 millimeter. That's like teeny tiny. So this black line is just teeny tiny. So he's about 5 or 6 millimeters. So normal ant size. The bug on the right is called a Meganura. I actually think I got that one. Or a dragonfly. Now, this is from a bit later. This was about 300 million years ago, which is actually in the early Jurassic, even earlier than that actually. Like, Mr. Edward, this is the Cretaceous. I just wanted to show you a picture for the sake of seeing this thing is on the right. It's called a fossil. What's a fossil, you might ask? Well, it's when an animal leaves their bones or their prints, in this case, in like a rock or something. And then what's this on the left? Like, what is this? Like, this is a rock. What is this weird goopy stuff that? And you know, this is just a print. This looks like a whole bug to me, Mr. Edward. I'm very confused. Well, this is actually something called amber, and I'll answer that question. What is amber? Amber is fossilized tree resin, or if you have a tree in your backyard or whatever, it's sap. So sap, hardens over. It turns into this amber stuff. So when a bug would land on a tree, it's tired. It's had a long day. It needs a nap. But it lands on like a pine tree or something, and the pine tree's got a little bit of sap coming down. You get stuck. And he gets stuck in the sap, and when the sap hardens up, you got yourself a little fossilized bug there. But unlike the fossil in the rock, which decomposes and it's just kind of a printing, this preserves the whole thing. See, look at that. Crazy, right? So, like I said, when it hardens, it becomes over hundreds and hundreds of years, and bigger chunks turn into amber stones, which look kind of like this, and in here you got me trapped out a mosquito. Good. Mosquitoes are evil. Oh boy. So, before we get to our book, I thought I would be foolish some more and try to read off some of these dinosaurs. Let's see. Corophosaurus, Syntasaurus, I'm just going to call this guy Noodlesaurus, N-O-D-O, I'm just calling him Noodlesaurus. Dinocheus.
These
are terrible. I don't understand.
This is painful to watch.
Ooh, this one looks like a giant squid, so I'm gonna call him Squid, but his real name is Belemnitidia.
You're misleading children, Edward.
And this one is Totitan. I don't know. Ah, there's one. Tyrannosaurus. Yay! I'm not even gonna try that. That's a raptor. This one looks easy. Archelon. Turtle. Styracosaurus. Ankylosaurus. I know that one. It's from the first slide. Let's see. And then this looks like Nessie from Big Nessie from Scotland. No. Elasmoris. Yeah. And this thing looks like a megalodon attached with like a weird dolphin tail, but it's I guess it's called a Dacosaurus. Whew. For all my friends that know much better than I do about dinosaurs, you can tell me what these are actually called and not some horrible butchered name.
Disclaimer, Edward is not a paleontologist.
I am not in any shape or... I have no expertise outside of my research on the internet. I am not a paleontologist. But hopefully this book on the Iguanodon, right? Iguanodon. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Phonetic sounding out of things doesn't always as cracked up as it sounds to be. Anyways, this book is called Iguanodon by Grace Hansen. And it goes like this. Iguanodon lived during the early Cretaceous period, that was around 125 million years ago. Iguanodon was an ornithopod. It ate plants. Blah, 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 blah. Iguanodon could grow up to be 16 feet tall. That's, for reference, that's about 3.5 Mr. Edwards. I'm just kidding as well. 2.5 Mr. Edwards. Aha! And it weighed about 10,000 pounds. Jeez. Iguanodon had thick hind legs and had short, skinny arms. Kind of like a T-Rex, but I guess this one ate leaves. Then again, look, it doesn't really have any teeth. It'll gum you to death. Right. Each arm ended in 4 fingers and a claw, so like this, and then like a really... Yeah, that sounds more and more like a velociraptor, with the claws and all that. Crazy. The claws were probably used for eating and for fighting. Iguanodon walked on all 4 limbs. It may have run on its back legs. It used its long tail for balance. Yeah, if dinosaurs didn't have their tails right there, they would fall over because all this weight up here in the front would just make them go down. Iguanodon had a small head, and it plucked leaves with its beak, which is just a fancy word for mouth, of course. The back of its mouth was full of teeth. Oh, I guess I was wrong on that. Iguanodon was very good at chewing its food. Well, I hope so. The climate was very warm and wet when Iguanodon was alive. There were lots of plants for Iguanodon to eat. Iguanodon fossils have been found all over the world. The first were found in 1822 in England. Most fossils have been found in Europe, Africa, and North America. Oh man, so you could find, apparently, so North America obviously is us, and you could find this guy. If you could have a window to the past outside your door right there, and you could see 150 million years ago or something like that, you would probably see a couple of these walking around. And looks like, yep, that, as they say, is that. So let's get back into it. There's only one little thing left I want to show you. So like last time, I found a virtual tour of a museum specifically on dinosaurs, and this freaky little guy here you'll learn about from the video. parents, I'm not going to play this whole thing. If you click on the link, you'll find it. You know, it'll take you to this little button right here. Boom, you can watch the video. And for when things are back in action, they've even got some. And if you can find yourself at the Natural History Museum, there's one here in Philly that has the Dinosaur Museum, and then also one in Washington D.C. Obviously, you can just go to the one in your own backyard, right? They have little activities here, scavenger hunts, things for my kindergartners, some elementary school, which you'll be going to just next year. So, anywho's, that, as they say, is that for this edition of Ed Talks. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.